Yourself why some people start big projects or goals with so much energy, but then give up after a few days or weeks? You might have felt this yourself. Maybe you promised yourself you would start exercising, eating healthy, learning a new skill, or saving money. At first, you feel excited. You feel like nothing can stop you. You wake up early. You follow your plan perfectly. But slowly, that fire fades. The energy disappears. And suddenly, you are back to your old habits. Why does this happen? Why does motivation die so fast? The truth is simple. Motivation alone is not enough. Motivation is powerful, but it is fragile. It is like a small flame in a strong wind. It can light up your path for a while, but without something to protect it, it will go out. Motivation feels like energy. It feels like a push from the heart. It makes you want to act, but feelings are temporary. They change every day. One day, you are pumped. The next day, you feel tired or distracted. If you only rely on feelings, you will fail again and again. Think about the times you tried to stick to a habit. Maybe you tried waking up early. At first, you were excited. You set your alarm. You even enjoyed the quiet mornings. But after a week, you missed one day. Then two. Soon, it felt impossible. Or maybe you wanted to start eating healthy. You bought fresh vegetables. You cooked meals with care. But after a few days, cravings hit. You felt weak. You ate junk food and felt guilty. What went wrong? It was not that you lacked motivation at the start. The problem was that motivation was all you had. Motivation without a plan, without logic, cannot last. Many people think motivation is enough to succeed. They believe if they just want it bad enough, they will make it happen. But this is not true. Wanting something is easy. Acting on it every day is hard. Motivation can start action, but it cannot finish it. To last, you need more than emotion. You need logic. You need a system. You need a plan that works even when you do not feel like it. Here is the key idea. Motivation without logic dies fast. Motivation is the spark. Logic is the fuel. Without fuel, the spark dies quickly. If you light a fire with just one match and no wood, it will burn for a second and vanish. That is what happens when you try to rely only on motivation. You feel strong for a moment, but soon, nothing keeps you going. But what is logic in this case? Logic is simple thinking. It is knowing what steps you need to take. It is creating rules and habits that guide you even when you feel weak. Logic is asking yourself, what must I do today to move closer to my goal? Instead of, do I feel like doing it today? Logic builds a structure. Motivation fills that structure with energy. Together, they are unstoppable. Imagine someone who wants to get fit. They start running every morning because they feel motivated. They feel excited. But after a few weeks, it rains. They feel tired. Motivation disappears. They stop. Now imagine someone else. They want to get fit too, but they make a plan. They decide to run on a treadmill if it rains. They schedule their workout at a fixed time. They track every run. Even when motivation is low, the plan keeps them moving. They succeed. This is the difference. Logic makes. You might be thinking, but I do not want to overthink everything. I just want to feel inspired. That is okay. Inspiration is powerful. It is exciting, but it is not enough to reach your dreams. Think of motivation as a car. Emotion is the engine. Logic is the steering wheel, the brakes, the map, and the fuel. If you only have an engine, you can go fast at first, but you will crash. You will get lost. Logic guides your energy safely to your destination. Here is something important. Everyone loses motivation. Sometimes Even the most successful people feel lazy, tired, or distracted. The difference is that they do not let it stop them. They have systems. They have plans. They have routines. They rely on logic as much as Vilas. And you can do the same. You do not need to feel motivated every day to make progress. You need rules and actions that work even when motivation is low. So, how do you do it? How do you combine motivation with logic? That is what we will explore in this video. By the end, you will have a simple method to keep your motivation alive every day. You will learn how to take the excitement you feel at the start and turn it into lasting results. If you watch till the end, I will share a secret tip that makes motivation last longer than you ever thought possible. Before we move forward, ask yourself this. What is your goal? Think about one dream you want to achieve. It can be small or big. Now ask, am I relying only on motivation to reach it? Or do I have a clear plan, step by step, to reach it no matter how I feel? If the answer is only motivation, do not worry. You are not alone. Most people are in the same situation. The difference is that you are here. You are ready to learn the missing piece. In this video, we will break it down. First, we will look at why motivation alone fails. Then, we will explore how logic supports it. We will give simple steps to combine both. You will see real examples of people who succeeded because they used both emotion and logic. By the end, you will understand exactly how to make your motivation last, even when life gets tough. Imagine waking up every morning and taking action without struggle. Imagine working on your goals, even on bad days. Imagine feeling progress every week. That is possible if you learn to combine your feelings with logic. And it is simpler than most people think. You do not need a new gadget. You do not need magic. You need a clear plan and a simple system. And that is what this video will give you. So stay with me. Watch till the end. By the time this video is over, you will have a tool to turn short-lived motivation into long-lasting results. You will never feel helpless when your energy fades. You will know exactly what to do to keep moving forward. Remember this. Motivation starts action. Logic keeps it alive. Together, they create unstoppable progress. And the best part is, you can start today. Right now. No excuses. No waiting for the perfect moment. Because the secret is not in waiting for motivation. The secret is in building a system that works with or without it. We all know what it feels like to be motivated. You wake up with energy. You feel ready to do anything. You tell yourself, this time, I will stick to my goal. And for a few days, it works. You take action. You feel proud. You even tell your friends about it. But then, something happens. Life gets busy. You feel tired. You face a challenge. And suddenly, you stop. You miss a day. Then, another. Your motivation disappears. This is the problem with pure motivation. Motivation alone is emotional. It depends on how you feel. When you feel excited, motivated, and energetic, it works. But when you feel tired, sad, or distracted, it fails. Motivation is like a balloon. When it is full, it floats. But it deflates easily. Think about a New Year's resolution. Millions of people make them every January. They promise to lose weight, read more books, or start a business. The first week is full of energy. People work hard. They feel inspired. But by February, most people quit. Why? Because their motivation was only emotional. They had no plan, no system, no logic to support their goals. Motivation is great for starting. It gives you a push, but it is not enough to keep going. Life is unpredictable. Some days will be hard. Some days you will feel weak. Motivation cannot survive all challenges. Without logic, it dies fast. Here's another example. Imagine you want to learn a new language. You are motivated. You start studying every day. You feel excited. You learn new words. You feel progress. But after a week, life gets busy. You miss one day. Then two. Soon, the excitement fades. You stop studying. Motivation alone cannot carry you through the tough days. Logic is needed. Logic keeps you moving, even when you do not feel like it. Many people try to force motivation. They tell themselves, I need to push harder. I need to feel inspired. But this does not work. You cannot create emotion on command. You cannot force motivation when your energy is low. That is why relying only on motivation is risky. Motivation is also fragile because it depends on results. When you see progress, you feel motivated. When you face failure, you feel demotivated. Think about exercising. You go to the gym for a week. You do not see results immediately. Your excitement drops. You stop going. Motivation fails when results are slow or hard to see. Another problem is that motivation is inconsistent. One day you feel strong. Another day you feel weak. Life is full of distraction. Stress, tiredness, and unexpected events affect your emotions. If your only plan is to feel motivated, you will fail often. Most people give up because they rely too much on emotion. This is why logic is so important. Logic does not depend on feelings. Logic gives you rules to follow. Logic gives you a step-by-step plan. Logic works even when you do not feel like it. If you combine motivation with logic, you can overcome challenges. You can keep going when motivation fades. Let's look at a real-life example. Imagine two people start the same weight loss program. Person A is highly motivated. They feel excited. They eat healthy. They work out. But when they get tired, they skip workouts. They eat junk food. Soon, they quit. Person B is less excited. They have motivation too, but they also make a plan. They schedule workouts. They prep meals in advance. They track progress. Even on days they feel weak, they follow the plan. They succeed. The difference: logic. Pure motivation also creates frustration. When you rely only on emotion, you may push yourself too hard. In the beginning, you feel unstoppable. But soon, your energy drops. You get disappointed. You feel like a failure. This cycle repeats. Motivation without logic can make you give up and lose confidence. Another issue is that motivation is short-term. It can last hours, days, or weeks. But most goals take months or years. Learning a new skill, building a business, getting fit, or saving money is not a one-week journey. Motivation cannot carry you through long-term efforts alone. You need systems, habits, and routines. You need logic to guide your actions consistently. Motivation also makes people lazy in planning. Some think, I will figure it out when I feel ready, or I will do it tomorrow if I feel inspired. This is a trap. Motivation tricks you into thinking action is easy. When reality hits, you fail. Logic prevents this trap. It gives you a clear path. Even highly motivated people fail without logic. Think about entrepreneurs. Many start businesses with passion and excitement, but most fail in the first year. The reason is not lack of energy. It is lack of strategy, planning, and systems. Motivation alone cannot create long-term success. Logic is the backbone. Here is an important lesson. Motivation is like a spark. Logic is the wood, the fuel, and the fire itself. A spark alone is not enough. Without support, it dies. But with fuel and structure, it can create a lasting flame. If you want to achieve your goals, you need both. Motivation gives energy. Logic gives direction. Logic turns random bursts of energy into consistent action. Many people ignore logic because it feels boring. Planning, scheduling, and creating routines are not exciting. Motivation feels fun. It feels emotional. But boring things like planning are what separates winners from losers. Those who succeed combine excitement with structure. Here's a question. Do you rely on motivation alone? Do you feel inspired one day and lazy the next? Do you start projects and quit quickly? If yes, you are not alone. Most people fall into this trap. The good news is, it can be fixed. Once you understand the problem, you can solve it. The problem is clear. Motivation alone is fragile, inconsistent, short-term, and dependent on feelings and results. Without logic, it cannot carry you through challenges or long-term goals. Motivation may start your journey, but it cannot finish it. You need something stronger. You need rules, systems, and plans that work even when motivation disappears. Later in this video, we will discuss exactly how to do that. We will explore how to combine motivation with logic to create unstoppable momentum. You will learn simple methods to make your motivation last longer. You will see how small steps, daily habits, and smart planning can turn fleeting energy into long-term success. But first, understand this truth. If you continue to rely on motivation alone, you will keep failing. You will keep losing energy and hope. Motivation is a spark, not a foundation. If you want real results, you must add logic. You must create a system that works no matter how you feel. This is the key takeaway of this section. Motivation alone is not enough. Motivation without logic dies fast. Motivation can start action, but logic sustains it. The sooner you accept this, the sooner you can change your results. Once you understand why motivation fails, you can stop blaming yourself. You can stop feeling guilty for losing energy. You can start building a stronger foundation for success. Remember, feeling inspired is great, but action that lasts comes from rules, plans, and systems. Motivation gives energy. Logic gives consistency. When you combine both, you become unstoppable. If motivation alone is fragile, what can make it last? The answer is simple. Logic. Logic gives structure. Logic gives direction. Logic keeps you moving even when you feel tired, distracted, or unmotivated. Without logic, motivation is like a car with no steering. You might move fast at first, but you will soon crash or get lost. Logic is not about being cold or boring. It is about planning your path. It is about creating rules that guide your actions. It is about answering one simple question every day. What is the next step I must take to reach my goal? When you have that answer, motivation is no longer the only driver. You have a system, you have a map, you have a plan that works, even when your energy is low. Think about someone who wants to learn a new skill, like playing guitar. If they rely only on motivation, they will practice when they feel like it. Some days, they will feel excited. Some days, they will skip practice. Progress will be slow and inconsistent. But if they use logic, they create a plan. Practice 20 minutes every morning. No excuses. They schedule it, track it, and follow it. Even when they do not feel motivated, the plan keeps them moving. This is the power of logic. Logic works because it turns random energy into consistent action. Motivation gives the spark. Logic creates the path. Together, they build momentum. Momentum is what turns small actions into big results. Without momentum, even strong motivation will fade. With momentum, even small motivation can create huge success. Let's take another example. Fitness. Motivation feels like excitement at first. You feel pumped to go to the gym, but some days you are tired. Life gets busy. Motivation disappears. If you rely only on feelings, you skip workouts you lose progress, but logic changes everything. If you schedule your workouts at the same time every day, you prepare your gym bag the night before, and you track your workouts, you create a system. Even on low energy days, you follow the plan. Logic makes results possible. Logic also makes motivation predictable. Motivation comes and goes. Logic stays. When you follow a plan, you do not depend on emotional spikes. You create habits that move you forward automatically. Habits are the bridge between motivation and results. Logic builds those habits. Motivation lights the fire inside you. Together, they are unstoppable. Here's a secret many people forget. Successful people do not always feel motivated. Elon Musk does not wake up every day feeling pumped to work 16 hours. Serena Williams does not always feel excited to train. They succeed because they have systems. They have routines. They have logic guiding their actions. Motivation is helpful, but logic is what sustains them. Logic also helps you handle failure. When motivation drops, most people quit. They feel discouraged. They say, I do not feel like it anymore. Logic prevents this trap. A logical plan focuses on action, not feelings. It says, do it anyway. Follow the system. Keep going. This mindset turns challenges into opportunities. It turns failure into learning. It makes you stronger over time. Another benefit of logic is clarity. When you have a plan, you know exactly what to do. You do not waste time wondering or hesitating. Motivation can make you impatient. You feel like you need results fast. Logic slows you down in the best way. It guides you step by step. It ensures you build progress that lasts. Logic also helps you measure success. Motivation is emotional. You feel good or bad depending on results. Logic is objective. You can track your steps, measure progress, and see real improvement. This keeps your confidence high. It prevents discouragement. When motivation fades, logic reminds you of what you have already achieved. Let's use a real-life story. Imagine two students preparing for exams. Student A relies on motivation. They study when they feel like it. Some days, they are productive. Some days, they do nothing. They feel stressed and anxious. Student B uses logic. They create a study schedule. They divide chapters into small sections. They track daily progress. Even when tired, they follow the plan. Student B succeeds. Logic ensures consistent effort. Motivation helps, but the system carries the work. Logic also prevents burnout. Pure motivation often pushes you too hard. You feel excited and work intensely at first, but soon you are exhausted. Motivation collapses. Logic balances energy. It creates schedules that are sustainable. It ensures you take breaks, rest, and recover. This keeps your motivation alive longer. Now, think about combining logic with motivation. Motivation provides energy. Logic provides structure. Motivation gives speed. Logic gives direction. Motivation creates desire. Logic creates results. When both work together, you can achieve anything. Small motivation combined with strong logic is better than strong motivation with no plan. Here is a simple way to start using logic today. Write down your goal. Then write down every small step you must take. Schedule each step. Track your progress. Do not wait to feel like it. Follow the plan every day. Even if motivation is low, action continues. This builds consistency. This builds momentum. This builds results. Logic also teaches patience. Motivation wants instant results. Logic understands growth takes time. Motivation may fade after 1 week. Logic stays for months or years. Logic keeps you focused on long-term gains. Motivation alone cannot think that far ahead. Logic allows you to keep moving when energy is gone. Another way logic helps is by reducing stress. When you rely only on motivation, you constantly worry about how you feel. You feel guilty when motivation is low. You doubt yourself. Logic removes this pressure. Logic says, follow the plan. Progress comes from consistent steps, not feelings. This mindset is calm, focused, and powerful. Remember this: motivation is emotional. Logic is rational. Emotion sparks action. Rational thinking sustains action. Both are needed. Motivation without logic dies fast. Logic without motivation may feel slow, but it still works. The best results come when you use both. Finally, logic allows you to recover quickly from setbacks. Motivation may disappear after a failure. Logic keeps you moving. You look at the situation, adjust the plan, and continue. This is how successful people keep going when most quit. Logic gives resilience. Motivation alone cannot do that. In the next section, we will learn practical steps to combine motivation and logic. You will see exactly how to create a system that works, even when you feel tired, lazy, or distracted. By following simple steps,